Vilitch the Curseling, leader of the new Warriors of Chaos Tzeentch faction, Puppets of Misrule, one of 4 brand new campaigns arriving with the new Champions of Chaos DLC, landing August 23rd for Total War Warhammer 3. In this video today, I want to quickly give you a spoiler-free overview of Vilitch's campaign, starting out by going over his campaign mechanics, skills, tech tree, and then at the end of the video, we'll discuss what his Immortal Empire start is like and answer the question, is this campaign right for you? The goal here is not to give you a full-fledged guide, but rather break down the campaign from the first turn to give you an idea of whether or not this campaign will fit your playstyle. You can quickly navigate to any part of the video that interests you the most by using the chapters in both the timeline and the description. Also, if you intend on picking up Champions of Chaos's DLC, or the Champion of Chaos DLC, coming out and want to support the channel, you can find a link to Creative Assembly's reseller program that will give you a Steam or Epic Game Store key for whichever platform you prefer. Please only pre-order if you're definitely going to get the game. Feel free to wait for any kind of reviews or the actual launch, as this link will work for 1 week after launch as well. Let's get started here on the new campaign for Vilitch the Curseling. So here we are on turn 1 for Vilitch. Now, please keep in mind that I am using an early access build of the Champions of Chaos DLC, and there is a chance that some of these things might change a little bit. It's mainly just probably numbers and balancing, but I want to be transparent with that up front. So let's take a look at these campaign mechanics and have some fun here. So we have opening up the Essence of Anarchy, the faction effect for Vilitch. The power of pure unpredictable change surrounds the master and his puppet, yet the Curseling's part in the Great Sorcerer's fickle plan remains inscrutable. And if you did not know, there's a lore video for Vilitch you can find in the upper right hand corner, but this is Vilitch and this is his brother. So just in case you were wondering, suitable climates, all of them. Everything's suitable for Big Daddy Vilitch here, which is pretty nice. And for his actual faction effect, vassals gain increased barrier hit points and spread Tzeentch corruption for you. So anytime you vassalize anyone as part of the new Warriors of Chaos mechanic, which, hey, guess what? Did a whole video on that. It's linked in the upper right corner. He has access to Changing of the Ways, which Kairos Fateweaver has as well, but we'll go over that in a second. Forces receive benefits for having high winds of magic, and converts a portion of own battle casualties into souls, which is very nice for the new Gifts of Chaos mechanic, and has access to Tzeentch Teleport Stance, which is incredible. Let me tell you, it is a lovely little treat to see for the man here. And going over his little campaign, he starts very close to Daniel, the Demon of Chaos, the Undivided Demon of Chaos right here at the Altar of the Crimson Harvest. It's actually kind of a close start, and he does start also in a, what's it called? That thing, the diplomacy thing, non-aggression pact. There's a non-aggression pact with him, which is quite nice. And taking a look at the starting army, we can see that we already start off with just strictly Tzeentch authority. If you remember from the Warriors of Chaos rework, you have all the other authorities that you can tip into, but you can only do Tzeentch with Vilitch. Now, as part of Vilitch's campaign mechanic, we also have the race or the path to Zanbai Jin. And basically, anytime you use souls, anytime you're granted souls, anything of the sort, I'm sorry, not use, granted souls, and it says right here, such as fighting battles and raising settlements, it will allow you to get closer to revealing the hidden city of Zanbai Jin. And basically, once you reach these thresholds, so Path to Zanbai Jin 1 is done at 10,000 souls, you create a Chaos Rift in your home province to begin a Chaos Rift network. Rift Sigils +2, these allow for the creation of a Chaos Rift network. And then the next one over here at 30,000, and then the next one over here at 50,000. And these basically, again, you're just kind of going all the way over to get to these Rift Sigils. Now, to claim portals and gates through the Chaos Realms, Forbidden Lore is required. By claiming enough souls, the Power Hungry can learn twisted runes and sigils, enabling them to take possession of the rifts. So the difference here is you're not going to be dealing with the Chaos Realm rifts that open up all the time. In fact, you'll get a notification very quickly into this campaign that Earthstone has been saved. So you no longer have to deal with the Chaos Realms mechanic as any of the 4 new Champions of Chaos. That is a really crucial thing if you're brand new to the game, or if you're returning to the game. If you're brand new to the game, that might not sound as cool, but trust me, it's awesome. So you don't have to worry about that. And the rifts you're going through are pretty much tailored to the Champions of Chaos. So getting these sigils and pushing through this is very similar to the Vortex campaign in a little bit of a way, but also quite different. And I apologize for any FPS drop. When I record, it just kind of happens. So let's go over some other stuff here, because we do get some some other things for Vilitch as it pertains to his warband upgrades. So if we click warband upgrades, we can see that for Vilitch, he only gets access to Undivided and to Tzeentch, as you would expect, but he starts with the technology that enables him to turn his warriors into Tzeentchian marked warriors right away. Now, of course, using those Tzeentch marked warriors means they get access to barrier and they have magical attacks, which is a very lovely mechanic to have here. You can see they already have an 800 hit point barrier just right out the gate, which is just very strong and very juicy. So taking a look at this, let's now jump into some of the skills for Vilitch. So for Vilitch's skills, you can see that he has the abilities both Pink Fire and Blue Fire of Tzeentch starting spells, which is quite nice. He has also the Mark of Tzeentch, so this gives him barrier and magical attacks. He then also has the Twisted Twin, which is a nice mechanic here. So the way that this works, this is an effect that increases in intensity. It says right there. I couldn't think of another way to word that. So basically, if you are in melee, your melee defense and melee attack is going to go up. If you're casting spells, your spell mastery goes up to a maximum of 20% increase on spell mastery, allowing them to do more damage and whatnot. Melee defense and attack going up to a max of +8. And Vilitch actually has a very nice profile for a hybrid caster at 55 melee attack and defense, 470 weapon strength. You can see the spread out of that with 330 being base, 140 being armor piercing, with 80 base armor and 70 leadership, as well as 35 speed. So he's not the fastest guy in the world, but he does have these capabilities. Now, his trait is Parasite. He steals 15% of the experience earned by other lords, which is cool because he'll pretty much always be leveling up. He has the passive ability Twisted Twin, which you took a look at, and Teleport Stance usage cost minus 25% Winds of Magic for Vilitch himself, which is just very juicy. I love that. He also starts with Tzeentch Authority +3, Nurgle Authority -2, which doesn't really seem to matter, but still, you have that as part of this guy's mechanic. And that's linked to his technology too, which we'll go into in a bit. So jumping into his skills, he has the normal blue line. He has the normal new red line. Now the new red line, how this works is, it will give you bonus to either demonic or non-demonic infantry, cavalry, or flying units. So Chaos Vanguard here gives bonuses to non-demonic infantry. Savage Bloodlust gives you bonuses to all non-demonic flying units, melee units. Warp Fire is going to help out demonic missile units and flying units. Hammer and Anvil is going to help out your non-demonic cav. I'm just kind of going through this really quick for anyone who hasn't seen it. And then Weapon Strength for your non-demonic war beasts, monsters, and monster units. And lastly, Doomfire gives you ammunition and missile strength for your all non-demonic missile cav and artillery units. So that's kind of the new spread now with Rally and then Stand or Die. Now with the yellow line, you do get Fate and Flux. This is, I guess it actually is a new ability worth pointing out. Campaign movement range +5% and souls gained from battle 10%, as well as income from post-battle at 10 and Tzeentch corruption +1. Also, there's another one I wanted to point out here that I did not, is Devoted of Chaos. It's a very nice way to get a lot of souls gained, starting even at the second level. Gives you souls gained from battles +10%, maxing out at 15%, and then increased experience gain from fighting forces of order, which you will do once you deal with the first initial orders of units of destruction around you. It's pretty nice. For your casting line, you have the Lore of Tzeentch. That comes into Prismatic Plurality, helping with decrease the cooldown of things for 33 seconds. More Lore of Tzeentch action into Greater Arcane Conduit, which is lovely as always. Then you also get a nice yellow line, which has your standard warrior buffs of all the bonuses to, melee defense and melee attack with Foe Seeker and Deadly Onslaught. But taking a look at his specific line, we get Sword and Sorcery. Enables Warp Flame attacks, which is lovely with barrier hit points +200. Twist of Fate, which helps with casualty replenishment and upkeep reduction of both Forsaken and Spawn of Tzeentch, which is awesome. I'll show you how that can be really kind of layered on top of itself. Passive ability Paragon of Change here helps by giving a 35-meter regenerative aura on barrier hit points, which is really juicy. Mind Wipe makes Treason of Tzeentch way easier to cast by reducing that cost. Also changing the ways, it's got a 50% reduction for Muddled Minds, which is the one that reduces campaign movement range. Pawns of Fortune here is going to give you request army reduction, diplomatic bonuses with Warriors of Chaos, Demons of Chaos, Beastmen, and Norska. Then souls gain from own casualties is +25%. So you have a lot of ways to really stack soul gain with Vilitch, which is really, really nice, because that's how you push through the path to Zambajin, so you really want that stacking soul gain. Mine and All Mine is going to help out with post-battle loot, post-battle stealing of magical items, stealing art terror technology, and then income from post-battle loot 10%, with lastly Master of Misrule, which it gives you the attribute Demonic. You get +2 Tzeentch Authority for your army, and then ability Winds of Change here, which is going to help out with that miscast chance and power recharge for 26 seconds. Invulnerable through change with Mythril Resistance, Hearts of Iron, Voice of the Dark Gods, and Authority of Change. This is the new Warriors of Chaos ability that every single Lord gets in some variation. If you're undivided, this would give you undivided authority, but once you dedicate to a specific god, it changes to that god's authority, and then a negative authority to the antithesis thus of, as you can see here with Tzeentch and of Nurgle. Lastly, he does have a quest item for the Vessel of Chaos. Is going to give him passive ability that triggers when spellcasting, replenishes barrier hit points at 0.8%, which is pretty substantial. Tzeentch Authority 2, changing of ways cost minus 100% for drain magic, which is lovely. Ward save 5%, and Winds of Magic cost or Lore of Tzeentch spells minus 10%. It's a great ability or item at level 15. So those are all your new skills and items for Vilitch. Let's jump into his his technology tree. I say new like it's brand new, but it is. You know what? It is new. It is new. This is the new technology tree for a Tzeentch-specific Warrior of Chaos. With the new Warriors of Chaos Undivided, there is a central point at which you branch out from. Here, it's just strictly Tzeentch. So you start off with Arcane Branding Iron, which allows you to do Undivided into Mark of Tzeentch. Also, Aspiring Champions get 800 barrier. And honestly, these are some amazing abilities here, like Temple of Tzeentch, 3% physical resistance for all units. For all units for each active gift of Tzeentch. That's great. Where is this one? Twisted Tome gives you Warp Flame attacks for Aspiring Champions and Chosen of Tzeentch. You just have a lot of really great ways to buff the hell out of all of your marked units. And I think that this makes playing through this campaign even more spicy, because you can really just focus and hone in on making a really strong case for just pure Tzeentch army, which is of course nice, which is what you wanted to do if you're playing Warriors of Chaos as a specific dedicated character, right? Like, for example, Valkia, you want to have everything Khorne related. So a lot of really awesome abilities here, like, for example, enables magical attacks for Chaos Knights, unlocks Warband upgrade for Chaos Knights as well, for Profane Weaponry. Demon Mounts allows you to turn your Knights into Doom Knights. You have so many awesome abilities here. Chaos Moon is your last ability here for Gate of Tzeentch, changing the ways, break Alliance here. And another thing is a lot of these are going to be kind of gating you on the gifts of Tzeentch. And you want to make sure you go through this technology tree to get access to those. Because when we jump into, well, I guess I have to wait, don't I? Oh yeah, we have to claim a control of settlement. So let's jump ahead a little bit to take a look at that. So the gifts of chaos for Tzeentch, as you can see, are solely focused on Tzeentch. You do have both a Tzeentch and an undivided slot, and you'll be able to pull from those and kind of invest them as you would normally in any other Warriors of Chaos campaign. You just kind of only focus on those rather than having access to any of the other gods here. So as you would expect, you just kind of plop these in as you would want, and they're quite nice. You know, this gives you access to some Screamers of Tzeentch right out the gate, gets you some barrier hit point increase. So all these are lovely to just kind of take advantage of. Same thing here with your typical undivided gifts are all right there. What's nice about this, though, is if we jump into the building browser, you can see pretty much everything is exactly the same. It just kind of has bonuses that kind of focus more on Tzeentch, Tzeentch corruption, and so on and so forth. But if you then look at the technology tree, like Arcane Construction unlocks bonus research rate effect for Dark Fortress military buildings. So there's a lot of really cool flavor that you're going to get with not just simply Vilitch's campaign, but with all of the respective Chaos God-related Warriors of Chaos Lords. That's going to make you think, or make you kind of focus on specific things to get more bonuses out of it. But that is the technology tree and kind of how the building browser works here for Vilitch. As far as the path to glory works for any of your lords, sorcerers, and whatnot, it seems to focus solely on, of course, devoting to Tzeentch. You don't have the kind of randomness that you have with Warriors of Chaos. So that kind of thing you should kind of keep in mind. Because remember, when you do affix a mark, the unit becomes half the rank of their previous form, and all skills will be reset to be chosen again. So, and any active boons you lose. So if you do want to go through the path to glory, you want to proceed into devoting them to a specific god and then rising them to a demon prince immediately when that unlocks. You don't want to wait until they're 7, 8, 9, whatever it is, because you lose half those ranks. So jumping them up is probably key. But that kind of concludes our path to glory and all the other kind of campaign mechanics. For the most part, the path to Zanbaijin, I don't want to ruin it for you because it's kind of spoiler induced if I do. So let's now just kind of talk about, is this campaign right for you? And Tzeentch's campaign is different here, or Vilitch's campaign is different here, in that it is way more aggressive than you would think, because you're playing Tzeentch and you think the changing of ways is a big portion of your campaign, because it still is. You get the changing of ways, you can use Spawnify to add spawn to your army, and remember, Vilitch reduces their upkeep by 50%, so you can have 3 spawn in your army at 100 gold per spawn, which is a real great ability here, right? Or reveal faction intentions and drain magic to boost up your winds of magic, which is always, like, you know, very quite nice. Here we'll do that, and we just went ahead and drained their winds of magic and got a nice bonus on ours. And it's just kind of nice here to be able to play a Tzeentch campaign that is really in the thick of it. Kairos is all the way up here, right around this region, more like right here. Isn't it? Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of lost right there. He's like right around there, yeah, with Kadatha. And it's nice because this kind of breaks up a little bit of the monotony, even for the Demon Prince, because you're surrounded on all sides by aggression, but you have a lot of vassals that you can subjugate and convert into your own, well, vassal. This guy right here, this right here, because remember, you can do Skaven as well as Norskins. You have both these Norskins over there that you can either subjugate or just kind of take over, with another Dark Fortress right there as well. So I think this campaign is actually very fun because it's extremely... It's a lot more aggressive than I originally thought it would be, playing a Tzeentch character, a Vilitch playthrough. And Vilitch himself is very strong in combat. He had so many tools to just constantly cast spells, which is a ton of fun. And he himself just gets stronger and stronger as he levels up. So if you want to play an aggressive Chaos campaign that is not Valkia, because I know Valkia is Khorne, and Khorne you're going to be ripping through things, and you want to play in a location that you're familiar with, because take a look at this. I mean, we're going to be immediately jumping into Kislev once you deal with these 2 locations, which is kind of fun, because I've always found that playing as the Demon Prince was a huge struggle, because he's, you know, a man alone against a very strong faction. Now, starting right next to the Demon Prince, you have the capability to ally with another legendary lord, with, you know, some other legendary lords right across the way, and create this true chaos tide against the order tide that is the bastion of Kislev. And I think without the kind of pressure of the Chaos Realms, you'll find that Vilitch's campaign really allows you to just choose a direction that you really want to go into. Do you want to jump into the old world, bypass Kislev entirely, and really just beset the whole entire place on fire? You are more than welcome to. And I think that this is... Vilitch's campaign is almost everything I wanted out of the Demon of Chaos's campaign, only strictly Tzeentch. And I am a huge fan of Tzeentch, so this plays very well into what I was hoping or expecting for a Vilitch campaign. So if you want that kind of aggression, but not all the kind of red coloring of Khorne, then you will absolutely love a Vilitch campaign. Moving over to the Immortal Empires map, we kind of ask ourselves, how does this campaign kind of shake out? And it's very similar to Kairos in the sense that you're pretty safe. You're up here, things aren't very scary. You've got options for Confederation to the north and west of you over here, and you have a whole bunch of Cathay you can jump into. Then also just right across the way, you have the Dark Elves that you can either contend with or you can ally with. So you have a lot of really cool options in this campaign, and I've always felt that Vilitch's campaign in the Immortal Empires will be one that will be constantly evolving because of any constant DLC for the armies of Grand Cathay or the eventual inception of the Chaos Dwarfs. We should see a lot of fun and different playstyles for Vilitch as far as directions to go and everything like that. Now, you don't have to worry about Zanbaijin, and you don't have to worry about any kind of Chaos Realms with Vilitch, so you're pretty much free to do as you wish. You have all of your changing of ways and any benefits that you can get from that. You're not bound by any mechanic that is not present here, because since Zanbaijin doesn't necessarily give you a ton of benefits, it's not going to really change your playthrough with Vilitch as far as any buffs or boons you'll be missing out on. So this is a really, really fun campaign for Immortal Empires, and I honestly feel of the 4, Vilitch's really shines in both the Realm of Chaos campaign and in Immortal Empires. In closing, though, just to kind of recap something that we've already talked about, is this campaign right for you? You know, is this the one that you want to jump into first when Champions of Chaos, or CAC, comes out August 23rd? And honestly, I find it to be the most enjoyable of the four, with Valkia being like a close second here because she's one of my favorite characters. But Vilitch's campaign is one of a lot more aggression than I thought it would be. And he as a character is far more active on the battlefield than, say, Festus, which is really a lot more passive of a playthrough, much in the same way that Kugoth is. So I guess it's neither here nor there. And he is not the kind of one-on-one burst cannon that Azazel is, or he is not the ultimate duelist and buffer of everyone around her like Valkia is. But Vilitch is a master of casting and really strong in close combat. So if that's what you want from a Lord, he's definitely going to be the campaign for you. Also benefiting from all the already present boons of playing a Tzeentch playthrough with Barrier and getting access to both the blue and the pink horrors as well as flamers. It is just such a strong playthrough. I love the Mark of Tzeentch. I love the barriers and the magic attacks because it makes you able to do a ton of damage to undead, to demons. It's just a really strong playthrough. I really feel like it's very enjoyable, and I like the character of Vilitch. I didn't show you guys any of the cinematics or anything like that, but once you jump into them, I think you'll really enjoy them, as well as going through the path of Zanbaijin as Vilitch. I think is probably, again, I'm biased now. It's clearly like, oh yeah, well, this is the best one, but it's one I really, really enjoy. And hopefully on August 23rd, you can have a good idea of which character to play through. I will be jumping into Valkia next, and then we'll be talking about Festus and Azazel closer to the weekend. If you're just watching this video now, when it's being launched, I'll be doing a stream of Vilitch on the channel, so you can watch that if you so wish. We'll also be doing a giveaway of the DLC. That'll be live at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you're watching this after the fact, you've already missed out. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching here today. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun action. But have a good one and take care.